Hey everyone, welcome to class. Today's flow is a bit tutorial, a bit yoga flow mix. We're going to be working on jumping forward and jumping back as we flow. So we'll start by just kind of breaking down the mechanics of what a jump up and jump back looks like, how it should feel, how to modify it, all of that. And then we'll do some sun salutations to kind of work it into our practice and kind of play with it in real time. So to start, we're actually going to go straight into our jump up and jump back. So let's talk about the mechanics of this first, because I think the biggest thing that chokes us up when it comes to this is not necessarily our physical ability, but our fear. So when we think of jumping forward from a down dog, to a forward fold, it's not necessarily that we don't believe our bodies can do it. It's that we're afraid that we're either going to fly forward over our yoga mat, or we're just not going to be able to do it right and it's going to look silly, blah, blah, blah. All of this, I can pretty much promise you, is not going to happen. Forget about looking silly. Just put that to the side. Nobody cares. In terms of flipping over your mat, it's highly unlikely that you're going to do that, because think of the amount of strength it would take for you to actually get all the way over. If you're just starting out, it's unlikely, okay? So the fear might still be there, and that's totally fine. We're not going to try to, aggressively shut the fear up. We're just going to let it hang out. It won't be disruptive. It's just going to sit with us today, and that's okay. We're going to move forward anyway. So what I want to do together is come to down dog, and we're just going to play with the idea of jumping off both of our feet. So from a down dog, for example, here's one thing that I want you to pay attention to. Maybe your down dog is a pretty wide down dog, like mine sometimes is, where my feet are pretty far from my hands. It's going to require a lot more power to jump up from all the way back here. So what I like to do when I'm going to incorporate jumps in my practice is I like to walk my feet closer to my hands. So already starting with that is going to make it easier. So from your down dog, you can take one step forward, and then already you feel like your hips are higher. And if you lean forward just a tiny bit, your shoulders are already over your wrists. So stepping the feet forward, that's kind of step one. The next thing I want you to think about as you jump is think of moving this kind of in like a reverse domino. So we're building up from the ground. As you come forward, your shoulders are going to move over the wrists, and then your hips are going to try to get over your shoulders. So you kind of have this stacking happening from down to up. And I know it's tough to gauge because you're upside down and you can't see yourself, but you'll start to get a feel for what that feels like when it feels right. So let's do a couple jumps just for fun, okay? Jumping up just for fun. It's no pressure, not a whole lot of right or wrong. I just want you to enjoy it, see how it feels. So hands down. Remember, start in down dog, and then see how far away you are. Take a step in. So we're going to come way up on the tippy toes, bend the knees a lot, jump it up. Okay, not so bad, right? Now maybe your jump looked a lot heavier, maybe you only got halfway, it's all good. So another quick thing is when you land, see if you can bend your knees. So you're not landing, with straight legs jamming your joints or anything. You land with the knees bent. So we'll try it again together. Feet step up one step. Tippy toes, bend the knees, and up, okay? So it's not so bad. So jumping up, I think, is not so scary. Jumping back can sometimes feel really intimidating. So when you jump back from, for example, from your forward fold, right? We come from here, and we either step back to plank, flow through, and we've probably seen people jump back straight to Chaturanga and then flow through. So jumping back requires a little bit more thought beforehand, just so that you're aware of how your body's going to move. Jumping back, you're jumping back to bent elbows. Always bend the elbows. So when you jump back, try not to jump back straight into locked arms. Allow them to bend. Again, you're not going to face plant, promise you. Even if you jump straight back and you move down to your stomach and your chest, there's no, pain, discomfort, or anything like that, because you're still having the integrity of the strength in your arms. So again, fear might still be here, but we're moving it to the side. It's okay. So let's do some jump backs together, just for fun, okay? No pressure, no right or wrong. We're just going to see how it feels and see where we need to tweak. So from your fold, you're going to plant the hands. Bending the knees The legs are gonna shoot straight back. You're gonna land on the balls of the feet. So for now, just focus on bending the elbows and taking the legs back and see where that takes you. So we'll do it together. So if you can't quite hold yourself up halfway, don't worry about it. Let's do it again. Take a second just to see like, okay, how did that feel? Did my legs go back? Did I jam my toe? Whatever it is. How did it feel? Okay, so now that you know kind of how your body was there, let's try it one more time. We'll do it together. From your fold, look up. Plant the hands, bend the knees, bend the knees. Maybe you flow through. Not so bad, right? Down dog. Look to the hands, step the feet in one step, bend the knees deeply. Forward fold. Let's take a couple sun salutations. Inhale, pick the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, fold. Do me a favor, just step back, plank, lower down. You can do this. Jumping back's not so different. Downward facing. Look to the hands. Just step up. You can do that. Jumping up, not so different. Inhale, pick the arms up. Now we're gonna jump. So exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plant the hands. Jump it back. Cobra or up dog. Sit it back, downward facing. Step the feet in, look forward, bend the knees. Exhale, fold. One more round. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take your time. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Bend the knees. Downward facing. Look to the hands. Tippy toes. Bend the knees a lot. Forward fold. Lift the chest halfway. I want you to bend the knees. Come down to a seat. So as you practice jumping back more, jumping up and jumping back, you'll notice how your body tends to move in space. So maybe you tend to lead, when jumping back, maybe you lead forward and you let the chest come down too far. Eventually you'll start to feel where your little tweaks can be made. And I think everybody's is a little different. So the biggest thing you can do with jump ups and jump backs is do them. Do them regularly. Don't be afraid of trying these new things. Don't be afraid of just working them into your practice. Whether you feel like you're, too early to do this, or you feel like you're gonna look ridiculous, or you feel like someone's gonna be like, what is that person doing? It's important to just do these things, to try them, because the only way you get better is by continuing to do it over and over again. So just to recap, the things to keep in mind when jumping up. Make sure you step your feet a little closer to the hands. Come way up on the tippy toes. Bend the knees a lot so that you have power to jump up and forward. Bend the knees when you land. With jumping back, make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. They're not too close to the body so that when you jump back, you don't get stuck between the hands. So they should be shoulder width apart, and land with bent elbows. Always bend the elbows when you come down so that you have a nice buoyant landing. The legs come straight back. For now, don't worry about being super floaty and weightless. Just work on getting the structure of your body and your poses down, and the weightlessness comes with practice. So that is your tutorial on jumping forward and jumping back. Super hope it was helpful. Thank you so much. Namaste. So there you have it. I hope you're feeling a little bit braver and like you can tackle these advanced yoga postures coming up next time. In the meantime, if you're looking for more ways to get better with yoga, to advance your practice, I really want to encourage you to check out my yoga and fitness program, the Perfect Body Yoga Program. It operates on the belief that the perfect body is really just the healthiest version of the body you already have. So it's not me, it's not your best friend or your favorite fitness celebrity, it's what you already are. So it's something that I'm so proud of, and I will drop the description, the link to that in the description below so you can check it out. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you right back here next time.